Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. Hi, Devin. Glad to have you back this week.
Hello.
Glad. We love new people, but we love when new people come back and
Yes.
become regulars. So we're glad to have you with us on YouTube, and Radina, one of our faithful regulars on
Yes. Hello,
Facebook,
Regina.
and all of our amazing friends on Instagram. We're so glad to have you all this week. So we'll give everyone a few minutes to join. And hello, Liddell on Instagram. Love seeing all the comments, and hopefully we don't miss any. And Naomi on Facebook, but we've got comments coming from everyone. We
Hello,
got
Shelly.
Shelley, thank you so much for joining us. We'll give everyone a few minutes to join just to make sure we have as many people as possible joining us for our amazing topic this week. Joy, our favorite friend,
Hello, Joy.
our
Welcome. We're so glad you could make it.
hula hooping fan. We're so glad to have you here. Joy posted. Oh,
Go ahead.
we were both going to brag on Joy. She posted a photo today of her 6 month transformation, primarily doing hula hoop along with the healthy plan, but doing all lots of other amazing things. And she
I
just
think she said she was down 23, 24 pounds. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joy.
the 23 pounds is great, but the picture just speaks
Yes.
volumes. So congratulations, Joy. We're glad to have you with us. And hello, Diane. I'm glad to have you, one of our regulars here on Facebook as
We got
well.
some of our regulars over on Instagram.
Yes. Tons and tons of people. So we're so glad to have you here. As just a little quick recap and reminder, you can catch our past videos up until from like maybe 3 or 4 months ago on YouTube. Going forward, they'll live there forever. And then if you want to listen to the audio podcast, they go back over a year because we've been doing this for more than a year on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. 23, awesome. That's how many pounds Joyce lost. But yes, the audio podcasts are available, so you take us on a jog, car ride, and there's also a bunch of amazing other coaches that have some amazing podcast content and as content as well.
Yes, I've actually had two people tag us today saying one didn't even know that we had the podcast and she was really excited when she found it. Another one just likes listening to it on her way to work or on her way home. And it just made me really happy. So if you are one of those listeners right now, hello.
Yes.
That will be future. So
Yes, glad to have you all here.
and one other thing about the podcast and stuff living on YouTube, the recipes going forward are also on the blog. So if you see one you like and you're like, where can I find it? You can find it on Facebook or Instagram. You can also find it on the blog just by searching last week's Dorito casserole. You should be able to go and just search Dorito casserole and it should be there.
Yeah, so the Healthy Apps website it has a blog and they have lots of really amazing recipes on there. And speaking of the Dorito recipe we shared last week, we had Monday.
We made it last night.
And it was a hit with the whole house.
So good. Even our daughter. Our daughter had extra Doritos dipping it like dip.
Yeah, she treated it like dip. But it was delicious, and we even used the store brand of Doritos for the first time.
We did.
And it was quite delicious. Even with the off brand. While cutting some of the money. So we've got Joy with us. Go ahead. I was gonna say she does a hula hoop journey, and she usually does a live on the Healthy Members group from 4:45 a.m. really early. Really early.
Record those, Joy.
Yes, because we're usually snoozing until then. We get up around we get up around 6:30. Actually, we used to get up.
Even on our gym days, we get up at like 5:15. So
so that's a little early for us. But I'm so glad that you do that. But we've got want to welcome Thelma and Linda. Just don't want to go without commenting on our regulars joining us. But yes, podcast.
Yes.
Recipes. We made the one from last week. It was delicious, divine, big winner. So if you want to go ahead and talk about our topic for this week.
So today we're talking about weekends without the worry, because sometimes weekends or just days off in general, like days that you're not in your normal routine, whether that be a weekend or if you're 2 days or 1 day, however many days off you get is not on a weekend. Basically, whatever day you have off, whatever day is out of the norm, like a weekends without the worry. So the topic is weekends without the worry. Just as it sounds, navigating the weekend, all the treats, all the fun things, while still being able to be on your health journey.
Absolutely. So we're going to be talking about some of the things that we do, some of the ways we organize our weeks to plan for the weekends, some other tips and tricks that you can use while you're out and about or at a social gathering to help you stay on plan as possible.
Yes, thing is, the weekends is not an excuse to just go crazy every single weekend, eat whatever you want, all the calories, all the things, no activity, no movement, no nothing. Um, and that's how we treated it for like 2 years. We've talked a lot about our 2 year maintaining on accident. And a lot of that was due to the weekends. The weekends would come and we'd be like, woo, all the food. Oh, we're not working out. And we would work out actually, but we'd be like all the food, everything. We'd each have our own entire crumble cookie, probably almost every single weekend. And we weren't seeing any loss. We weren't gaining.
No. No,
But
we
we
were
weren't losing.
we were on point with our activity and food during the week, but we were not as careful for the weekends. And really, that is kind of really the crux of our two-year plateau that we've ended. And starting really started the fall of last year, we really kind of picked things up. In the beginning of this year, we've done excellent. I think we both have lost 20-25 pounds or more just this year alone. Which helped us get off of the plateau. So we're going to be giving you some tips on what you can do to survive the weekend, enjoy it, because we do want you to we do know that it is very important to enjoy yourself, but to not overdo it, because you don't want to get into the pattern that we did, where we were just maintaining. And maintaining is a really good thing.
It's still a win.
We're very proud
still a win.
that we were able to maintain the 75-80 pounds of weight loss for 2 years without gaining it all back, because in the past we always gain that back. But it's important to set these goals and stick to them so that you can meet your goal. And because we could be a lot farther along if we had not been less consistent.
Yes. So one thing with the weekends, something great about Healthy, they have the weeklies. You can save your weeklies for the weekends. If you need those extras, you can save the weeklies for the weekend and just use them all. And then you're still it's still balanced. It is still balanced. You're still within reason. Like, you're not spending, like 200 bites. But you are using your weeklies up. So that is one great thing I love about Healthy, is it gives you that flexibility with the weeklies. So if you want your weekend to have some extra goodies, you have those there, so that you're still not going crazy and overboard throughout the week.
Absolutely. And you can even we do our meal plans to have lighter healthier meals during the week, so that we can have a little bit more freedom with our weekends, but we still try to stay on plan as much as possible and stay within those weeklies, because the plan is designed for a deficit, even with the weeklies into account. Some people have a tendency, I don't want to use the weeklies. You can definitely use your weeklies, and that's
still designed for you to use them.
It's designed for you to still be at a loss, even when you're using the weeklies. Granted, having a little bit more, with us being a little less careful with our water intake, we will probably be bloated. We actually are usually bloated on Monday mornings, but that is not from fat. That is typically from kind of water weight.
Yes. And just a reminder, if you do have a weekend where you just have all the things, you're not going to gain all that weight. Sorry, my cat's back there just making a lot of noise.
You're not going to gain it all back.
Yes.
As long as you don't.
Like, if you have a 5-pound gain the next day, it's not all fat. You're not going to gain fat. It's pretty much near impossible to gain 5 pounds of fat overnight or even over a weekend.
Yeah, I was up quite a bit but we just did not have the water. It's so easy when we're in our normal routine to consistently drink our water, but on the weekends it's just harder to get that in. So just have those expectations. If you do daily weigh-ins, or you happen to have a weigh-in on Monday morning, know that those reasons might cause you to be up a little bit, but definitely be cautious, but enjoy yourself. So that's one of the things that we recommend. So set goals. Allow yourself to have these things. Weekends come with grocery shopping, running errands, birthday parties. You name it, and you want to enjoy yourself a little bit more. But set goals of what you will allow yourself to do and what you want to stay away from.
Yes, if you let yourself have all the things every single time there's a special something going on, it's you're never going to get anywhere. You might maintain like we did for the longest, but you're probably not going to lose weight.
Absolutely. Still having those goals going in there, like if you have, a party or a social event, go in there with the mindset that you're going to have go for the most healthiest item first, and then have some of those special
Mhm.
treats on the side. Go in with the goal and the mindset that you want to set portions. If
Mhm.
they've got cake, if they've got treats, have the cake and the treats, but make sure that it is a small, healthy portion
Yes.
versus giving yourself as much as you want.
Also, if you have an accountability partner there, have them get the portions for you. We went to a wedding this past Friday, and I had Chris get my slice of cake because I knew, first of all, I knew I'd get more than one if I went up there, and two, I knew I would pick the biggest possible slice up
Mhm.
there. So have your accountability partner, if they're there with you, get your portions so you can still have those treats within reason without going overboard. Have that person there that's gonna be like, okay, do you
Mhm.
really need more? And just have that person there. And also another thing, I could be getting very much ahead of Chris's notes, but another thing is to plan ahead.
Mhm.
Plan if you know like you're going to be going out like running errands, pack some snacks with you so you're not tempted to go to the fast food to the drive-through and get all the things. Pack some healthier sweet items if you know like when you're out you always want to get a sweet treat.
Mhm.
Make your coffee at home instead of going and getting the 3 or 400 calorie coffee. Plan ahead. That is a big thing, is to plan ahead.
And another thing, another trick that it's not quite planning, but we found ourselves in a pinch out and about and we're hungry. We call these moments Dollar Tree lunches.
Mhm.
So what we do is we go to Dollar Tree and we get a small pack of tortillas, which are not usually the low carb, but they're still fairly healthy. We'll do tortillas. We'll get a pack of lunch meat and then some string cheese, and make
We'll
ourselves
make
some
little roll-ups.
wraps,
Yeah.
roll-ups, wraps, and then they have um,
Like
beef
popcorners.
jerky, popcorners, a lot of those healthier individual snacks. So we'll go and we'll spend maybe $7 or $8, which is actually very reasonable for three of us to eat, and it's fairly healthy. Granted, it
Mhm.
could be healthier if we had made it at home, but in a pinch, we can always stop by Dollar Tree, Dollar
Yeah.
General, those types of things, and get enough to where we can
Mhm.
enjoy a meal without going overboard.
Yes, absolutely. And I actually love our Dollar Tree lunch. Those wraps are so good.
They are really good. And Devin pointed out on YouTube a comment mentioning that they set the food in a straight line and use the barcode scanner and track everything on the Healthy app, and then on the menu
Yes,
online
plan,
order.
plan, plan.
And then, yeah, they mentioned going to the menu online first before they go out to dinner and plan beforehand. We actually have one of our past podcasts where we talk about how to be successful when you go out to eat, and that is right there one of the tricks that we do. Go to the menu, pre-plan. Okay, they've got Mila, they've got this, and this. Plan what you're going to get, and then try to, as much as possible, stick to that plan when you get to the restaurant.
Mhm.
Some places might not have menus online, but as much as possible. And Healthy app has lots of restaurants already in there too. If you can plan, so if you know you're going to go to McDonald's
Mhm.
or Taco Bell, go on the app and pre-plan what you plan on tracking, so you know what you have available, and then go order.
Yes, and also if you know you're going to be going out to dinner or something, plan the rest of your day around lighter, zero bite things to give yourself a little bit more freedom as well. And like we said, those weeklies are there for a reason as well. We have a whole entire podcast, and I think it was recent, just about weeklies.
Mhm.
So they're there for you to use, but plan ahead. Look at the menu. Plan your day around it. Like, and sometimes, like, I will plan my whole entire day, breakfast, lunch, snacks, just to make sure that I have room for that treat that I want, whether it be part of a crumble cookie, hopefully not a whole one, like we did this weekend.
Yeah.
Um,
Our ideal portion for crumble is getting a fourth of the
a
cookie.
quarter. We normally quarter them, and that's good to go. But sometimes we just do not have self control.
Well, this weekend they had some of our most favorite one of my most favorite cookie. It was the Blue Monster cookie, and then they also had this new Biscoff pie. And those were harder to stay away from. But generally speaking, we do a good job
Yeah,
at
we really
portioning
do.
out the crumble cookies, or any other cookie for that matter, into reasonable small
Mhm.
sizes to where we can enjoy it.
Yes.
But
And
yes.
also remember, a lot of people have talked about this before, the 80-20 rule. 80% healthy-ish, 20% the other stuff.
Hmm.
And typically it balances out a little. Like it balances out as far as on scale and everything. So 80-20. If you want to have that cake, go ahead and have it, but also balance it out with maybe some veggies and dip at the party, or, some protein or salad, or, just something healthier to balance out the cake. 80/20. I live by that. Like, most of my days is 80% healthy, 20% is probably going to be an ice cream sandwich or a Reese's, but something not so healthy. And, it works for me.
And not only that, but just this portion, like Courtney, she gets the mini ice cream sandwiches,
Hmm.
and she can have two of them
For the same
for the
calories.
same calories as one, and that makes her feel like she's getting a lot. So she feels like she's eating two normal size ice cream sandwiches with their mini size. So she gets more out of that. We've started using at dinner a lot of times smaller plates.
Yep.
Some people think it's a little crazy, but why have this big old plate when you're only going to fill it even halfway full or a quarter of the way full? It really does help trick your mind in. And we've started using I don't know what they would classify that, like a saucer. I don't know. It's about like
It's a
this
smaller
big,
plate, yeah.
6-inch plate versus a 10 or 12 inch
Hmm.
plate. And that tricks your mind.
Yep.
So do that at parties. Like if there's a party or an event you're going to,
Get
put
the
it on a
dessert
smaller
plate,
plate.
yeah,
Get
because the dessert
definitely.
plates are typically smaller.
Yep. Absolutely.
But also another thing is, if you do, if you plan and set your stuff aside and plan on all these things, and it still does not go the way you planned, or you just end up having too much cake, or you end up having, the things that, you go to the restaurant with the ideas of having the healthier option, then you choose the not so healthy option. Don't be hard on yourself. It's fine. At the end of the day, one weekend is not going to ruin all of your progress.
Mhm.
Um, Granted, like we said, make sure every weekend is not that way.
Yes.
But one weekend is not going to ruin your progress. You're not going to gain 5 pounds of fat. You might be bloated. And, and sometimes, whether you are within your bites, within your calories, all that stuff, sometimes you're still going to be bloated because you're eating things you don't normally eat.
Mhm.
So just remember that when you get on the scale afterwards. If you are a weekly weigher, and your weekly weigh-in happens to be on a Monday, just remember you might be up some
Yeah.
because you are eating things that you're not used to.
And things that can affect your bloat would be how much sodium. If you
Hmm.
have, popcorn, inherently is fairly healthy, but if it's got a lot of salt on there, that might cause you to bloat. Not having your water like we normally do. Surprisingly, we went to a wedding this weekend and we did quite well. It was the day after the wedding when we went to crumble cooking. That was the more difficult part.
Yeah.
But just go and enjoy yourself. We had a small, reasonable sized piece of cake, and we had two slices of pizza. And for our wedding, that's actually a pretty
Hmm.
decent amount of food, without going overboard. So, enjoy yourself. We really did enjoy that cake, but we didn't go back for a second slice, and we didn't also go and get the biggest slices.
Yep, absolutely. And just remember, like I said, and I know I've said this like 3 or 4 times, just because it's the weekend does not mean you have to eat and have all the things. There will, like, like a wedding or some or birthday party, there might be something there that you wouldn't have a chance to eat again in
Hmm.
the near future. But for the most part, most of that will still be there. That's something when it comes, like, people have asked me how I can have things like Reese's in the house or ice cream sandwiches when I'm a binge eater. It's because I've learned I can have more tomorrow.
Hmm.
Like, I can eat the one Reese's and be fine because I know I can have more tomorrow. So remember, like, just because it's a Monday or a Tuesday or Wednesday, that does not mean you cannot have that fun thing that you wanted on Wednesday.
Hmm.
You can, or not on Wednesday, on the weekend. You can split that up. You can
Yeah.
take that crumble cookie, because we usually wait until the weekend, because we wait until Saturday, because if it's a really good cookie, we can't go back and get it the next, like, we cannot go back and get more the
Yes.
next day. But we will split it into quarters, and we'll know tomorrow there's more.
Hmm.
You can either eat it all at once on the weekend or save some, and it'll still be there.
And in all honesty, it's better for your body if you know you have that cookie and you break it up and you have part of it today, part of it tomorrow, and part of it the next day. It's more spread out. You
Hmm.
also get more days of enjoyment. See,
Exactly.
3 days of being able to have part of a crumble cookie makes me happy versus I eat it all in one day,
And you
and
feel
then
sick.
there's 2 other days that you don't have
Yeah,
cookies.
or and then you make yourself sick from eating so much. He felt
Mhm.
sick. I, with sweet tooth, I did not feel sick.
Yeah, after that Biscoff pie, I felt like I
So don't ask us how many calories that thing was.
yeah.
We were
But to know that we've been able to, on occasion,
mhm.
have more than we probably should and still be down at a loss. Granted, we weren't at a loss that weekend, but we're
No.
we're, we're back on track to being back down. Um, it's not the end of the world if you have a whole crumble cooking or if you have an extra slice of cake. Um, So enjoy yourself on the weekend. And those weekends where you have those special events like weddings, weddings do not occur. I can't remember the last time we had a wedding.
Hmm.
It's been, 6 months or so. So those types of things do allow yourself a little bit more grace. Birthday parties don't happen very often, but errands happen a lot.
Yeah.
Plan for those errands, making sure you have healthy options to bring with you.
Hmm.
Do those, healthy snacks or the Dollar Tree lunches like we talked
Yes.
about.
One thing we like to do is we like to pick out one restaurant that we're going to go to each month, and we'll go on a weekend usually.
Hmm.
And that's just what we do. And so we know when we go, it's probably going to be not so healthy because we know like this is the one place we're going. And this is what we're doing with this weekend.
Hmm.
And so something like that, I say if it's something you're not going to have in a long time, like if I'm paying for it, I want to have what I want.
Hmm.
I don't want to go to Chick-fil-A and get the grilled chicken sandwich. I want to have that nice fried chicken sandwich. So let yourself have what you want within reason. And like I said, you can split it up. Like when I'm at restaurants, sometimes I will immediately ask for a box and I
Hmm.
will split
Oh
that
yeah.
split that in half because I know I will be satisfied off of half. But if it's in front of me, I'm gonna eat it all.
Oh yeah. Get
So
it out of the way.
yeah. So just do what you got to do to stay on track on the weekends, but also don't sweat it. But just remember the weekends, there's a weekend every 7 days. There's going to be another weekend next week. So don't feel like you have to go crazy just because it's the weekend, because there will be another weekend.
Hmm. And what has helped us is we used to do a cheat meal every week.
Hmm.
And that just didn't work out for us. That also helped contribute to our 2-year plateau,
And it was usually on the weekend.
and it was usually on the weekend. So what we do is have been doing recently is we'll do a cheat meal once a month, but we will have sort of a cheat snack per se.
Hmm.
We'll have a part of a caramel cookie, or we'll go get a
Ice
small
cream
cake,
or cake.
and then slice it up in small pieces, or have a small go to Culver's or somewhere, or Chick-fil-A and get a ice cream cone. We do the snacks, and we also just have, like Courtney has, a Reese's throughout the day, throughout the week, to so it's not all at once.
Hmm.
So just be mindful of that. What works for you. Some people do a cheat meal each week, and it works
Yeah, and it
well for
works
them.
well.
But for us,
We
it's
kind of
been
spiral after. If we have it once a week, we just kind of spiral, and that's partially where our weekends were just going. Was we'd have that cheat meal, but it would turn into a cheat weekend. It was the
Mhm,
whole weekend, and the whole weekend does not have to be a cheat or a treat or whatever you
mhm.
want to call it, just because it's the weekend.
Yeah, and it can be one meal, and we had a tendency to do a meal and then a snack and then another meal, and so it was the whole cheat weekend.
Or we'd have a cheat breakfast, and then ooh, what about lunch? Let's go here. I didn't get breakfast there. I want to. So it was
Yep.
just all
So
day.
pace yourself. Don't do it all at once. Enjoy yourself. But don't pass up those special moments.
Mhm.
Just because you're on a diet.
Yep.
'Cause the last thing you want to do is go to a birthday party or a wedding and not have not have a piece of cake.
Yep. Unless you don't like cake, then don't have the cake.
Yeah, exactly.
I will never pass up cake unless it's coconut flavored or pineapple. Anyways.
I will gladly take your piece. Well, so that kind of is the gist of what we recommend and what can help you get through the weekend, whether it's going on errands or you've got a special event, or you're just being lazy at home. We had a staycation for a few days, and
It was
we
beautiful.
we were able to make sure that we accommodated. We made a special treat out of our daughter's princess cookbook each day. But that was the one meal. We had a small portion, and we were extra active. We went to the trampoline park. We went on hikes. We went on walks. So do all kinds of there's
Hmm.
all kinds of things you can do to balance things
Yep.
out.
Absolutely.
All right, so now we're going to go on to our recipe, and I'm looking forward to this one, and I
This
hope you
one's
all do
good.
too.
I haven't made this one. I think it's been years since I made this one.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. We share these recipes, and then we have a tendency to make them
Hmm.
again for the first time in a while.
Yes, this is a bean dip. It's super easy, super simple, um, low calorie, all the fun things. Keep in mind this is 12 servings because it's an appetizer type food. Um, but you need an ounce, which is a packet of taco seasoning, 1 cup of fat-free cheddar cheese. You can do regular cheese. It's cool. It's fine, but fat-free for this. Fat-free refried beans or regular. Light cream cheese, fat-free Greek yogurt, plain, and a cup of fat-free mozzarella. Start by preheating your oven to 350. Mix the yogurt and the softened cream cheese until it's combined to the mixture. Add the refried beans and the taco seasoning and mix it all together again. Add that mixture to the bottom of a sprayed 9 by 13 inch pan. Add both the cheeses on top. Pro tip, spray it with spray butter or cooking spray, and it will help the fat-free cheese actually melt because it just does not melt sometimes. Um, but it will add additional bites, calories, all that stuff. Cook for 25 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until the cheese is melted and bubbly, and let it sit a little bit before serving. You can serve it with chips, veggies, whatever. We like chips. You can also put this inside of a tortilla and have like a bean burrito. But it's very good. You can also add like taco meat to it to make it a little bit more hearty and proteiny.
Absolutely, or cottage cheese.
Or cottage
You
cheese.
us and cottage cheese. And this is
Of course.
between 3 and 5 bites, depending on what plan you're on. 157 calories, 15.1 net carbs, but 13.2 grams of protein, which is surprising. Beans have protein. Sometimes we have a
Yeah.
tendency to forget that.
And if you added a meat, that would have more protein as well.
Absolutely. The beans have protein, and then a little bit of the cream cheese and stuff has protein too. So if you add a cottage cheese, it's even more protein.
That's true.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you so much for joining us this week on Tuesday Talks with the Conways. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.